you and Chris were talking about at the beginning of, going around the organization and kind of promoting some of these pilots or things that you've run. How do you find that is a key thing for new groups to want to partner and try these things to showcase that these things have been implemented and that there is someone kind of as a backstop to continue to support it even after that pilot phase and that decision approach has been made, and then as you all move on to support the next group, that there is still something there to help them.
Yeah, so I'd say in the first part of that, in terms of taking things out from things that we delivered in the past and presenting those out to the business, that's, I think, critical to successive automation programs in terms of scaling and continuing to grow. Because as we know, just in the sales space, anybody can spin anything that they want and sell something that is going to appear really nice. And I think because of that, we've tended to become more skeptical over time of the automation team coming to a new business line and saying that we can do X, Y, and Z isn't going to get buy-in anymore unless it's truly they're trying to get off the ground and they don't have any prior experience to be able to show. Because once you've been embedded in an organization, what those business leaders want to see is, what have you delivered already in the organization? How did that go in terms of meeting, not meeting, or exceeding expectations? And then if it didn't meet, what did you learn from that? And how do we know that that's not going to happen again with this use case? And then the second piece of that, just wanting to know, again, that it's going to be a long-term partnership and support. So it's not just your team's going to come in, develop something, say that it's stable, and then if a system that it integrates with goes through an upgrade, which is inevitably going to happen, then the business has to go back to you and request that they get funding for a new project to keep it running, understanding how that system or automation is going to continue to persist as business change occurs, as system changes occur, or as just the needs of the business users change as well. And I think the key piece of that is it's really understanding what that means from a relationship standpoint, since traditional automation support, I think, has been a little too focused just in terms of looking at metrics in terms of runs and seeing, are we seeing errors in the system? Are we seeing jobs fail in the system? If no, then everything's running great. But you may not be seeing those errors in the system, but maybe the output that users are getting that says it was successful isn't actually including as much detail or as many data points as it was previously. So things are falling off and making it less impactful and less usable for the business, but just the overarching like job schedules and metrics aren't telling that piece of the story. So I think it's important to understand that a lot of times these projects start with getting an understanding from the end users and the business of what they need, and you're delivering against that. And production support really needs to have that same mindset in place of, it's not just a numbers game and monitoring logs and triggers in the system. It's continuing to have those conversations with the end users and getting their affirmation that yes or no, it's still meeting their needs. And if no, when did that change, and understanding why that changed so that we can not only correct for it, but try to anticipate similar challenges in the future and get ahead of it so we don't have periods to where the automation effectively was down for a month